Welcome to Deck Talk, where you will be prepared. Deck Talk is a weekly show where we bring on pro players, deck builders, commentators, anybody who's trying to make Hearthstone the #1 rising esport in the world. Today we have a very special returning guest. Last time she was on here, she brought us a great mage deck that was hugely popular. Everybody messaged me from all over the place wanting to know when she was going to be back, what new things she has in store for us. So, the one, the only, IceGirl. Welcome back.
Thank you, Shiv. It's good to be back. And with so many changes that have happened since last time you had me, it's almost like a brand new game.
Isn't it, though? I mean, my God, the meta has just gone completely insane.
Everyone thought initially Hunter was dead on arrival after the nerf, and it got stronger. It was like the twist of fate, you know, the thing that wouldn't die. And now we see that the meta has kind of shifted into this, well, we got to kill the death rattle Hunter. And because of that, it leaves a lot of interesting things that can be done in order to exploit the fact that people are still just so focused on Hunters.
They really are. They really are. We've seen like a lot of new meta decks popping up. Obviously, Warrior Control is like one of the strongest ones versus the Hunter. Priest has gone like two different directions and is both really strong against Hunter and against other decks, but it ends up getting its ass kicked by like Zoo and a few other things. So it's really interesting. We've got all these things. Even bot shamans are getting in on the mix on this. This is getting insane. Everybody wants to kill the Hunter. What did Rexar ever do to you?
What's really interesting is that you mentioned the bots. Like, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about how to identify bots and how to exploit bots.
Mm-hmm.
One little trick, I don't know if anyone has noticed this yet, but bots do not use the arrows to make their attacks. So you can almost always notice a bot immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about bots is they always go based on the value that's on the board. They don't necessarily think about the actual effect of the card, and you can use that to play into your advantage.
Oh yeah, Dark Cultist is great for that because they go Dark Cultist like, well, I have a Doomhammer, I can kill the Dark Cultist. That would probably be good. Not realizing that what they're going to do is end up giving something else a huge amount of life, which you can exploit greatly with. But I found that Dark Cultist is like the greatest way of testing for a bot.
So it is, definitely.
All right.
And it's also one of the most valuable drops of that kind in the game, because having like such a high health 3-minion card that also buffs your earlier minions, it's just a lot of versatility there. Which leads into why we're going to talk about a priest deck today.
Yes, we are going to talk about a priest deck. But before we get to that, now we've also been seeing a lot of tournaments and stuff coming into play lately. And Hunter is actually now like the #1 banned class in those tournaments because nobody wants to deal with it. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, even when I was talking to you the other day, you were like, I'm done with the Hunter, and oh, they beat my Hunter, and you knew I had to go there a little bit. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Burns going down. So the thing is,
I have words for you, but I'm not going to say them on here.
Please, after the show, you can say.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. When you have a class that is so universally loved and hated, you can use that to your advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with the whole ban list, the way I always done it is, no, I want them to go to Hunter. I want that to be their pick, and I will just play a deck that will beat it. I will just assume that since they have it, they will choose to play it because it's so strong, and I will just beat them at their own game.
Very good. Very good. See, here's a person who doesn't cry about, this card is too OP. Oh, Hunter's doing this to me. Oh, Hunter's ruined the meta. Now, as much as I like to bitch about stuff, I try talking to her, and she reminds me how illogical that is. So thank you for that.
Right, because there'll always be something else, right? The build always changes.
Oh, yeah.
And thanks to Naxxramas, literally, the toolbox is there. Any class is viable in the right circumstance. I'm not saying all of them are equally strong, don't get me wrong. But with the right combination of things, you can find a winning strategy in the most unlikely places.
You really
Paladin,
can.
which vanished again, Control Paladin is back,
Oh, yeah.
right? Warlock, which was eventually almost always going to, Handlock vanished. Guess what? Handlock's starting to come back. Oh, mages? Well, thanks in part to me and some other people, Secret Mage came out, Giant Mage is coming back. So all these classes that people thought were over are back. And in talking about giants, even Shaman got in the giant mix. So there's a lot of new strategies in a way that are basically throwbacks to what the game looked like last year, with a lot of giants and a lot of ways to get them out sooner. It's very fascinating.
Yeah. I've even seen hunters jumping on the giant bandwagon with, like, well, hell, I can't get card draw out of it. At least I can get a giant. So it's like, wow. But yeah, we've been seeing that as well. All right, so speaking of tournaments, I'd also like to take this little small fragment of my show here to talk about a tournament that's upcoming, the Blood Mage Brawl. It's a really interesting format. It's a tournament that's literally going to change every single week its format. There is an entry fee of $10. That's kind of, but I like the formats that they're already listing and talking about wanting to use. Like, for instance, Highlander format. This is
and I've heard about the Highlander format too.
Yeah,
and with it being a one of, that's just a really interesting thing. Like, I've played some common only tournaments, and it really kind of limits you. But to have a tournament where you can play rares and epics and even a couple of legendaries, it's a very fascinating puzzle, and it really helps build your skill level as a Hearthstone player, because you're not always going to get the perfect list, and playing tournaments like this helps get you ready for anything.
It really does. And some people might say, oh, $10 might seem a lot, but here's how I look at it. Back in the day when we were doing Friday night Magic drafts, how much were we spending there? It's about the same thing. Yeah, sure, we got cards from it, but this is more of a casual thing. And all the prize money all the entry fee money, actually 80% of it goes towards prizes. And I like that. As long as it's not everybody's, getting paid off there. Want to make sure that the players are getting rewarded for what they're doing. And I really like what these guys are doing. There's actually some really big names behind this development of this tournament that they're doing here, so I will have a link towards it. Check it out. There's way more detailed information than I could ever possibly. I'd have to dedicate like a show just to cover this whole thing, all right? But there'll be a link towards it in the description. Please check it out. It's great. All right, so now, back on topic, Priest. So, we've seen Priest everywhere on the freaking meta. Let's hear your take.
I'll be honest. For me, for a long time, I was anti-Priest. I was like, what? Priests get lost, right? I ain't got time for that shit.
It was the troll class, yeah.
Exactly. But then, my friend, the Stool, like he switches the H and the E because he's too cool. He's like, no, IceGirl, you got to check out Priest. There's this whole new thing that they can do, and it exploits the Dark Cultists. You'll love it. And once I started playing it, I swear, my win rate with it has become just insane.
Right.
My particular variant of build, which is, I would say, highly inspired by his build, although we kind of merged at the same place after our conversations.
Well, great minds think alike. That's just how that works.
Exactly. It just does what it's supposed to do, and although him and other people have abandoned it, I find now it wins for me more than ever, because the only build it was really weak against, was the Hunter combo build. And now since that build is gone, its win rate has exploded. Like, we're talking 90% win rates for me right now.
That's a pretty bold statement. That's a very bold statement. Hopefully we're going to be able to see this in action here. So you ready to show off this deck?
Sure, let's talk about it.
All right. So here's the secret sauce Death Rattle Priest deck. I actually really do like this build. It's just phenomenal on so many levels. So, IceGirl, this is your deck. Take us through it.
The reason why I name it Secret Sauce is we've seen so many variants of this build at the moment. So I don't think anyone can claim 100% anything here. I'm just going to say this is my flavor of it that I like to run. That's why I call it the secret sauce.
Right.
For example, I'm only running one Circle of Healing. A lot of people will run two. And the reason why I'm running one is because the Alkanai Soul Priest Circle of Healing nuke actually usually just wipes your board too, and it might not always put you in the better state. So that's kind of like an emergency play. So I don't really want two of them.
In case
And
of
remember,
glass break, yeah.
exactly. And that circle of healing is really good sometimes where if you get a really big Undertaker and you're just building a lot to help extend your push into the mid game.
All right.
Another thing, I'm running 2 Shadow Word Deaths. A lot of people are only running 1. I find that one of my biggest problems isn't dealing with the little crap, but the big crap. And having another spell to just remove a threat, it helps me a lot. In fact, it's not uncommon for me to pay 8 to remove Lothab if that's what the situation calls for.
There's also another thing I love doing with Shadow Word Death in a priest deck, and that's Sylvanas.
Oh, absolutely. Triggering your own
Insta-grab.
Sylvanas to grab the threat, sometimes that's the win right there.
Mm-hmm. Very
And
much so.
It's a 9 mana mind control if you think about it. Granted, it takes 2 cards, but sometimes it might be worth that trade.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I am running the 2 Thought Steals, and this, for your audience, this is a key thing. I see some people coin into Thought Steal or Thought Steal at the first moment, and they lose tempo because they're not playing a threat instead of playing the Thought Steal. For me, I usually try to work a Thought Steal in when I either have no other plays or as part of another turn where I'm also doing something else.
Right. I normally find this around like turns 4 to 5 is more optimal. 6 is about perfect. Because then I can go like Dark Cultist Thought Steal. That way I'm still putting down a minion and I'm getting some new possibilities. But in all honesty, I'd much rather only have to use this when, okay, I need options now. So, alright. So what else we got here?
Well, just your standard endgame, except for the fact that I'm running 2 finishers with Kel'Thuzad and Ragnaros.
Now,
Even my own team, Ace Breakers, is like, why are you still running Ragnaros? Well, most of the ability to kill Ragnaros is gone, right? Most people are only running Shadow Word Death. Well, they just used it on either Sylvanas or Kel'Thuzad.
Or even Lothab.
Or even Lothab, right. And not many classes have enough ways to deal with just a lot of big threats. So just having him out there, again, it just solves a lot of problems. And it helps protect Kel'Thuzad, helps protect itself.
Right. Now, if you could actually get Kel'Thuzad and Ragnaros on the board at the same time, that is just so soul-crushing to the point where it's like almost guaranteed victory. The only thing I think you have to worry about then is a possible mind control.
Well, I always find mind control, especially since we're running a really fast early game, like, I'm probably going to kill you before turn 10. Like, that's the goal.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a really interesting breakdown. I love the Ragnaros in this. I love the Kel'Thuzad in this. The Savannah, it's really, really nice. Some people might say this deck is a little expensive. Hi, welcome to Hearthstone.
Kel'Thuzad is free, Lothab is free. If you think about it, it's only a 2 legendary deck. And
yeah.
So
yeah. And in all honesty,
in terms of price-wise, it's one of the most affordable competitive decks you can build.
Yeah, and in all honesty, Sylvanas is pretty much a required, you should be crafting to this, and Ragnaros for the longest time was a required, you should be crafting to this. So, I mean, they still have value. So, people saying, oh, this is an expensive deck, well, you should have already had these cards, in my personal opinion.
Well, if you need a switch, there's really nothing that switches for Ragnaros all that well. Agreed. If you don't have Sylvanas, you might want to go with a Black Knight if you have that instead to help get through Sludge Belcher.
That's a good teching advice right there. All right, so we've talked about the theory, we've talked about the breakdown. Let's put this bitch in action. All right. And by the way, I say that not in reference to my awesome guest here, but in reference to the deck. Alright, so like on our show, we take everything to the ladder. I was at 5. Unfortunately, the counter meta kicked in and, well, slapped me right back to 10. Thus my anger. Mind you, you should never
But when he
play.
hulks out, it's just more fun.
Yeah,
So
mind
let's
you,
focus
you should
here,
never
right?
play at 3 o'clock in the morning when you haven't slept for 18 hours on tilt.
Shiv, we all know you play better when you're drunk. Anyway,
I don't
let's
drink.
focus.
I don't drink.
Anduin
All right, let's
versus
focus.
Gul'dan.
Alright.
We have to beat M.
Shall be
Sneaky.
mine.
The light shall bring
Alright.
victory.
So I would drop the Death, probably one of the Northshire Clerics, and the Circle of Healing.
Right. Because we're not running the Injured Blade Master, so keeping that in our opening hand just seems kind of pointless. Now that's a really strong opening hand.
Yeah, that's almost as good as we could have hoped for.
Bring out your dead.
Alright, so now let's see if we top deck into Magic. We do not. I would probably Zombie Chow and coin the Northshire Cleric right now.
Is someone injured?
So if he doesn't kill the Zombie Chow, we can immediately start getting value off of that power.
Agreed.
Okay, excellent. So now I would use the Zombie Chow and the Northshire Cleric to remove the Undertaker to prevent it from becoming a bigger threat.
Right away.
And then I would heal the Zombie Chow.
Yep.
Job's done.
And the reason why I feel okay with letting the under Northshire Cleric go is because we're sitting on a Northshire Cleric. So it's not like we're wasting it if he does remove it.
Right.
Okay, so now I would play my Northshire Cleric,
Is someone injured?
use the Zombie Chow to remove the Haunted Creeper, and then heal it up and get more cards.
Job's done.
Alright. Now here, this is going to be rough. If he drops a Direwolf, this might get real sketchy real quick.
Call that a win.
Wow. He just went full on aggro.
It only makes me happier with what's about to happen. So now we play the Okanai Soul Priest and combo it up.
The void.
Peace!
Be with you, my son.
Alright, so that really hurt the zoo. That hurt the zoo dramatically, because now he's all into tap phase.
Which is exactly where we want him to be.
Right.
Okay, so now we play our Belcher to keep that Harvest Golem from doing anything useful, and we just smash bait. The reason why we're not killing the Harvest Golem is because we're gonna grab it with let me
must
change your mind in a
cleanse the
second.
Sunwell.
Oh, okay, I guess we're not. I guess we're gonna use Shadow Madness to use it to kill his thing in a second.
Whoa!
Wow. Wow.
When you're aggro and you know it.
Oh my god. The insanity here is really lovable. Okay. Alright, so this is gonna take a little bit of thinking. We need to use the thanks. Alright.
I see a couple options here.
Give me a second. Relax.
I must
All right.
consider.
Alright. So let's use Shadow Madness on the Harvest. Run the Okanai Soul Priest into the Ghoul.
Feel my pain.
And now run the 1/1 into his 3/1. And then play a Haunted Creeper.
That worked brilliantly. He's got no board. We've taken his board. He's going to have to tap again.
Now, I want to make him want to commit suicide, so we're going to use Cabal Shadow Priest to grab
Let
his
me
Haunted
change
Creeper
your
and
mind.
go face.
You win.
See? Oh, suicide time! I called it. It's suicide time. It's time for suicide! It's time for suicide!
I've never seen somebody so happy over suicide, you know.
Time for suicide.
Actually,
That's
the
how you
original name
know.
of this deck was Kevorkian, for Christ's sake, so I guess that does kind of work.
That's how you break their soul and you drink their life. You're not winning at Hearthstone if your opponents aren't committing suicide. And that's the deck in action.
Well, we still have one more game we got to do.
One more game?
Yeah,
Can we call it short? I mean, it was so exciting, and I really don't have a lot of time.
Oh, come on. It'll be done. Well, we got this.
I'm not saying we don't got this. I'm just saying I'm tired.
I know you're tired. I know you're tired. Though, the way this deck is going, this might actually be the shortest episode of Deck Talk in a long time. And lately they've been running 30, 40 minutes. We're already at 20 and we're almost done.
Let's the hunt.
All
It
right.
doesn't have to be long when it's
Shall
beautiful.
bring victory.
Oh, Hunter.
Alright, so I would drop the Shadow Madness and the Sylvanas.
Come on, Undertaker. Come on, Undertaker. That works just as good.
It is. It is almost just as good. Obviously, Undertaker would be preferred, but you still have a lot of opening threat.
Exactly. Definitely anti-Undertaker right there.
And that's one of the reasons I run the Zombie Chow. I don't care about giving my opponent life. And to be honest, because I do run the Alkanai Soul Priest, there's no guarantee it's going to give life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, we're playing against a slow-mo.
The Moo King. That should have told us everything right there. He may just concede. He may just concede. Let's hope.
He knows that the power of the deck is too strong. It's just emanating. It's like... Alright, so you do play Zombie Chow first? Just in case he does play an Undertaker and we have to remove it?
So that's going to be kind of cool come turn 4 if that's still around.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why it's not even a guarantee. Okay, play the Loot Hoarder fast in for 2. He might be having disconnection problems, and let's exploit it.
Oh, yeah. These are things that you do when you're on the ladder.
Mind if I roll?
Whatever it takes to win. I'm not above it.
What?
Wow.
You know,
Fascinating.
I have an idea here that might seem a little odd.
No, don't. I don't care what your idea is, but play your Northshire Cleric,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna kill that with the Zombie Chow, and then you're gonna hit him with the Loot Hoarder.
I'd have just reversed the order. That way, turn 4, I could drop the Aki and at least do 5 damage. That was my whole take on it. But I could see where that would backfire.
You can't guarantee that that's going to be the best play that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, I would just drop the Arcanized Soul Priest and go face.
Embrace the void. Hey, give me that! Right away.
Force him to do the trade. But does he have the bow? Sludge Belcher?
Find on a second.
Ooh.
Low fab. Ouch. Early. Okay. So we can remove low fab with the heal and the hit. Well, first let's throw the Northshire Cleric into his trap and see
Right
what
away.
happens.
So, attack to
No. The trap. Yeah. If it's a freezing trap, we need to know this now.
Right.
Okay. So now I would heal Lothab and remove him. And then I would probably choose to play the Zombie Chow.
Right.
The reason we're playing the Zombie Chow is because it just has more attack damage, and there's no guarantee that the Northshire Cleric will be able to heal anything for us, because we don't have anything of value there right now.
Right.
Okay. So now I would play Sylvanas.
I have no time for games.
And pass the turn.
Yep. So he's probably going to attack the Zombie Chow just to regain life.
We don't know. He might want to Hunter's Mark Sylvanas and throw Sludge Belcher into it, so that way we only grab basically something crappy.
That is true. That is very true. But he's going to
Or
go
he could be Insane. Insane is good too for us.
Yeah, yeah. We like Insane.
No, I would be really happy if all he did was decide to try and rush us right now, because he would be in for a rude awakening.
Agreed.
Wow.
What? What?
That was...
Not a great play.
No, it really was into Flare. Wow, it's really just hard to know what he's going for right now, because his plays are just so...
I think he's trying to find us
uniquely
Hyman.
bad. Alright. I would throw a Loot Hoarder.
Mind if I roll need?
I would heal myself. And I would hit him for 3. And the reason why I don't want to put out things is I don't want to make a bigger Call of the Hounds. I just don't feel like a 1-3 right now is going to matter.
Right. I mean, Unleash the Hounds we are seeing still being played. It was really relevant in the aggro builds. I kind of knew that was coming.
Alright, excellent, excellent. Now I know what to do. Alright. So first, play your Northshire Cleric.
The cheap one?
Yep, the cheap one. It's very important right now.
Alright.
Then you're going to Shadow Word Death his Hymen. Then you're going to kill one with the Loot Hoarder.
Hey, give me that!
One with the Zombie Chow. Then you're going to heal your Zombie Chow up for an additional card. And let's hit him again, just for good measure. Because we're good people. We're good people. And what you gonna do, son? What you gonna do?
Well, that's a really great answer, right? Thank you. That almost screams we have to do one thing in particular.
Okay, yeah, Shadow Word Deathing the 6/6 has to happen. So
Yeah.
that's just happening. There's not even a choice about if that is or isn't happening. So now the question is, what else should happen? I think I know. Alright, so we're gonna play the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Bring out your
We're gonna
dead.
play our Sludge Belcher. Then we're going to run the 1/2 and the Zombie Chow into that. And we're gonna hit him for one more.
Right away.
I mean, the only problem is if he has another Hymen. Oh no, an Eaglehorn Bow.
Oh, damn. He's... See, a
One
Thought Steal
freezing
right now
trap,
would be
one's
good.
probably an explosive trap, so... Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to run the Northshire Cleric
Right
out
away.
there. Okay. Let's throw the Belcher at him. Let's see what happens. Okay.
It's either a snake
So-
trap or a snipe at this point.
Okay, so play the other Belcher. Play the Dark Cultist.
The damned stand ready.
Let's hit him for 4
Oh,
and heal ourselves. Because you can never be too careful.
That's most likely, it is a snake trap. That's the only thing it could be. Which means, if he plays a Belcher, I think we have to use Shadow Madness just to negate it and just beat the crap out of him some more.
Well fought.
Hey, look at that! It's
Or
over!
they could commit suicide!
Or they could commit
That's why it was called Kevorkian-esque. All they do is want to kill themselves when they play my deck. They kill themselves because they know they can't win. They kill themselves because they know they can't win. Oh, yeah.
This is what happens when she's tired. Can you imagine what happens when she's fully awake?
I don't know. The
Alright.
IceGirl ices them.
Wow. Okay, so that's really amazing. That's going up on the ladder. It's handling.
90% win rate when you play it like me, baby.
This is-
People, they can't even deal with it. They just want to kill themselves. They want to uninstall the game. I am too pro, baby. Too pro.
Oh, I can't wait to see all the comments on this video.
Too pro, baby.
It's
Too
going to be
pro.
hilarious. All right, so let's get into some of the guest social. That way you can send your comments directly to her. All right, if you'd like to follow IceGirl, you can check her out on Twitter at IceGirl _AK. You can check her out on twitch.tv, IceGirl AK again. And also her YouTube channel, youtube.com/users/IceGirlAK. There's a kind of theme here with the AK. And in this case, it just means I have an AK-47, and I will make you commit suicide, apparently. So, alright, so
Well,
that's...
yes, as Shiv mentioned, the original name was Kevorkian-esque. And as I told him, and he's like, it's going to be kind of hard to prove. You have a 90% win rate. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, man. The meta shifted in such a way that this build has only gotten stronger. If you play it properly, a win is almost guaranteed unless you're playing up against someone of equal skill. This deck is the ultimate equalizer. The
It
better
really
skilled
is.
player will almost always win.
It really is. It really is. That deck is just amazing. I wish I would have known about this deck, 4 days ago.
I offered it to you, baby.
I know. I was like, no, I'm on a win streak here. I'm going to keep running up. Man, damn it.
By the way, just to let your fans know, I was originally going to show them a joke tournament deck I was building.
Oh, God.
But the Shiv, you asked me to give them something real. This is, as I said, this is my secret sauce. This is my highest win rate deck right now. People aren't looking for it. It might have been the hotness like a couple of months ago to run stuff like this, but it's catching everyone off guard right now. And if you run it and you run it right, you're going to win.
All right. Well, it really is an amazing deck. I really do like it. It's so much fun to play. And it's amazing how quickly those guys went, no, fuck, so screw this, I'm done. You know, they're like, too late for me, I'm out. So that was awesome.
I appreciate everyone for going on this ride with me.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have questions about the deck, unlike last time where I took a little while to get back to you, I will comment in the Hearthstone forums on it. If you need a little bit of advice about matchup or exchanges for cards that you don't have, I want to support this and I want to help you guys out there because I'm glad that you're testing out my decks. I want everyone to be a winner and we can do this together.
Right.
Let's conquer Hearthstone, baby.
You can't pay for this kind of exuberance, all right? They don't bottle it at all. All right, so...
Whole caffeine, baby. Woo! Coffee!
Okay, so I'm hiding my coffee pot. No, I'm kidding. But no, that was a lot of fun. I really do appreciate it. So here we go to the whole little shout-out, end of show kind of thing. Anybody want to give a shout-out to?
Sure, I want to give a shout-out to Ace Breakers, as usual, and Jodo specifically for giving me a chance to be on the team, get back in the scene. Of course, the Shiv, who always keeps reminding me that, you know, I shouldn't just keep all my ideas locked in my head and bring them out to the community and help people succeed, and it's always really fun. And most of all to you, the fans, because without you, the game wouldn't be as interesting.
Yeah, seriously, the fans are what makes this game so great. And just every day I'm answering at least like 10 different emails, 10 different messages about things, and it's amazing how much they're wanting to learn, how much knowledge that they're looking to get. Nobody thinks that they always have the right answer, so they're always looking to improve themselves, and I think that's what it takes to be a really good player. Always looking to improve, because no matter how good you are, eventually you're going to hit a point where you're going to find somebody who's better. So you're going to want to always improve. So.
Absolutely. I'm still improving, and sometimes you see a new quirky combo and you keep trying out, and most of the things that I make, I've had a couple of people, give me some feedback on, but a thing that I always use is if someone says something and it doesn't feel right in my gut, I trust my gut a lot too, and that's why my builds are almost always a little variant than to what other people are running at the time, because I like to play it to my play style. And mind you, that's another thing. Although this is the secret sauce deck, it's my secret sauce deck. Remember, there could be something that you might find, maybe you need 2 Circle of Healings instead of only the one that I run. And if that works better for you, by all means, love it, live it, be it. Because if you have faith in your deck, let's go Yu-Gi-Oh on it, baby. Heart of the card. Sometimes it happens.
Oh God, I haven't laughed this hard in a while. Even when Tom was on here last week, I wasn't laughing this hard. Jesus, woman. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Prepare to duel!
Okay. All right, so that's pretty much going to wrap up the show here. Again, please don't forget to go check out the Blood Mage Brawl. There will be descriptions down. There'll be links in the descriptions. Look, you got me all like turned around here. Thanks. So there'll be links in the description. There'll be links to this deck in the description. Again, thank you so much, IceGirl, for coming on. I appreciate it. I know you're super busy. You've got medical school and all that other fun stuff, plus job, and you have to go ride your motorcycle at least 6 hours a day.
Oh, wait.
Other way. Yeah, right? But no, I know you're extremely busy, but thank you so much for coming on the show. I really do appreciate
Bye,
it.
everyone.
Oh,
remember, may the top decks forever be in your favor.
Bye-bye.